In the comments on the last video, someone said they didn't really understand the logic of how a lever bow works, and I'll try and explain that. But with all bow making stuff, it's never quite as simple as it seems, and there's a lot of crossover between the various styles, and a lot of confusion about what the words mean, the actual semantics of it. Well, what do we mean by a lever? What do we mean by a lever bow? Well, there's a bow with levers. That's like a Malegabet style, and you can see it gets very narrow at the tip, and you've got a deep, rigid, thin, light lever. But once it's braced, the string is just going straight across. It doesn't run along the lever like it does there. So this doesn't work the same way as that does. All this is doing is reducing tip weight and putting all the bend into a short, hard working section there. So there's some overlap, but some difference. If you look at the modern recurves, or the one-piece recurves with heavily recurved tips, the string sits along the end of the limb for quite a while, and it does give you a slight sort of easing as you reach full draw. Not like a compound, but actually where the draw weight goes down. So all these things interrelate. Anyway, back to the plot. Well, what we've got here is a short bow, a relatively short bow with a string going from there to there. We pull it, it's fairly heavy to pull. And you say, oh no, the string doesn't go to there, the string goes to here. The string goes right to the end of the lever, doesn't it? Yes, but during the first part of the draw, the string and the lever remain in intimate contact at all times. So the way to look at it is to say, well, if I bound all the way around the string and the lever, bound them together with string and glued it solid, it wouldn't make any difference. It would still be exactly the same for the first bit of draw. It's only at the point where the string lifts off this string bridge that you start seeing the effect of it being a longer bow. So effectively you've got two bows. You've got a short bow for that much of the draw, then after that, magically, you've suddenly got a longer bow. And I'm sure your common sense, life experience, gut feel will tell you that if you just extend the bow, it becomes easy to bend. I mean, if you get a length of scaffold that long, you're not going to bend it, are you? You get one of those, I don't know how long a standard length of scaffold is, a huge, great long scaffold pole, hold it in the middle and do that with it, you'll feel it flex. So the longer it is, the easier it is to flex, because you've got leverage. So that's what it's all about. This leverage only becomes effective once the string leaves that point. Another way of looking at it is, early on, the string's pulling this bit of limb back, but this bit of limb, it's pulling in this direction. So it's absolutely rigid. You can't compress a limb pulling this way. So this limb has no effect until you start pulling away from it. Right, what I'll do is I'll do another forced draw curve. Hopefully it won't kick sideways as much because I've modified this lever. Also, I've relieved it a little bit here, so hopefully it might lift off a tiny bit earlier and we'll get a fuller forced draw curve before it goes sideways or funny. Let's just have a quick look, see how it's bending. Yeah, she's just about to lift off. So can you see, because the string's still pulling at those bridges, it's still like a short bow, but then suddenly the string lifts off. Now we're pulling on the full length of the bow. So now all of a sudden it's a long bow, not a short bow. So that's looking better. Yeah, I should be able to get a slightly better forced draw curve. I also took a whisker off here just with a rasp, trying to get a more even curve. That's looking quite good. Anyway, I'll do the forced draw curve later, because you don't. Right, so I'm going to take the measurements quite quickly, probably every 2 inches till we get to about 20. So, right, I'm just going to let her down because she's trying to kick over the other way. Shows how twitchy it is. Just push the string back that way a little bit. "21, 36.4, 22, 37.9, 23, 39.1, 24, 40.3, 25, 41.0, 26, 41.62, 27, 41.9,